Thanks and welcome to join me on this edition of the news on Canal the International. I'm Kejang Henry Atimbe. We have our top stories for this. Women Defy Ghost Town and Gunshots celebrate the 37th edition of the International Women's Day in Cameroon's northwest region of the country. Upbeat of the celebrations in Bamenda in this edition of the newscast. And take the bold step as women. Littoral Governor Samuel Dieudonné Ivaha Dubois told the women this morning to measure up as they commemorated the International Day of the Women at the Beseke ceremonial ground. Those were our top stories. In a split second, we are having the news. Canal Come to join me. I'm Kejang Henry Atimbe. On our major items today, we move over to the northwest region where women in Bamenda have defied the two-day ghost town of Mondays and Tuesdays and the gunshots that actually rented the air to celebrate the 37th edition of the International Women's Day. Today, 7 outstanding women were actually marked for various spheres of their influence, as we get from this report, courtesy Saleh Safiatu, with calls from our Northwest Regional Bureau Chief Correspondent, Annie Collins.
Women in Bamenda this Tuesday, 8th of March, defied the two-day ghost town of Monday and Tuesday and the gunshots on the previous day to celebrate the 37th edition of the International Day dedicated to them. Among the strong women on this edition downtown Commercial Avenue were 7 outstanding ladies who have made their marks in various spheres of life, like this young Binono Flora, a female bike repairer to whom the governor spontaneously announced a gift of a brand new motorcycle.
We have taken necessary measures to secure the region, and if we are able to celebrate joyfully today, it is thanks to those measures that have been put in place to secure not only the headquarters of the region, but the remote areas, including the border of the region.
On behalf of women of the region, a representative said how much they have been resilient in front of adversities like the current socio-political crisis.
Many women have also lost their lives as a result of the crisis. We have wept and wept until our tears are dry. We are tired of bloodshed.
Taking part of the very first time, the Northwest Regional Assembly promises much for women in development.
We should come out from our shelves, the shelves that we've been like, a woman's place is in the kitchen. In the Northwest Regional Assembly, a woman's place is not in the kitchen. The woman's place is in development.
However, the baseline remains the return of peace for the much cherished man and woman parity for a prosperous Northwest region.
Safia to report in there with calls from our Northwest Regional Bureau Chief Correspondent Annie Collins, and of course we move over to Yaoundé where the women celebrated without the First Lady. But then the few women who took part at the celebrations actually preach peace, justice and security. And, of course, the Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Promotion of the Family was there for that ceremony. Courtesy Beatrice Ngambo from our Yaoundé Bureau.
Parade to commemorate the socio-economic, cultural and political achievements of women at the 20th May Avenue in Yaoundé. Women from all strata of society dressed in the day's fabric. The opening, a social square cluster portraying Cameroon's engagement in the fight against pandemic, gender-based violence, the harmful effects of climate change, and fatal cultural practices, brandishing peace, security, justice, and environmental protection. The parade comprises 9 wagons of 49 persons per group of 7 rows and 7 columns, representing all the sectors of activities in the country. the closing wagon of the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and Family Promotion. In all, about 15,000 persons took part in the march past, rich in sounds and colors from the different models, styles, according to tastes and groups, in blending combinations. Minister of Women's Empowerment and Family Promotion, Marie-Thérèse Abena-Ondwa, was a representative of the First Lady.
And I'm pleased with the women who marched past. They were very happy to have this celebration again. They followed the instructions not to pay too much attention on the festivities. We had a problem with the fabric, but they readjusted and made very beautiful patterns with the quantity of fabric they had. It is not just the fabric. We have to look at the theme, and the theme of this year, they did a lot by carrying out activities. We expect them to continue to carry out these activities for the next year. We should all fight any kind of discrimination against women and girls. And women cannot move alone. We need men to move together.
The security and health context still a barrier as far as celebration is concerned. The march for gender equality today for a sustainable future is on.
Thanks very much, Beatrice Ngamo. That was our Yaoundé Bureau Chief Correspondent reporting there, and the Women's Day celebration at the Yaoundé Boulevard, 20th May Boulevard rather. And as women celebrate the International Women's Day today, March 8, 2022, Maureen Day took interest in women fleeing the conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of the country and taking refuge in neighboring Nigeria. Maureen Day.
It's been close to 4 years since the runaway from the war in the restive northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon and had to resettle in neighboring Nigeria. Life has not been easy for these Cameroonian women, now refugees.
When you escape to the bush, when they leave the village, we will come back to the village and stay. Then when they are coming again, when you just get the sound of a gun, you just pack your things and go.
Some have put to birth, and getting access to sanitary products when they are on their periods is a nightmare. The hospital in Takum, eastern Nigeria, offers free family planning and postnatal care to female refugees who have fled conflicts in Anglophone regions. In the English-speaking regions, Bernice is visiting the hospital for checkup for her second baby, born out of her comfort zone. As the crisis keeps degenerating, access to healthcare has deteriorated dramatically in the English-speaking regions of Cameroon, and the women are the most affected.
We're using pieces, cloth. I will cut the cloth, I will wash it, I bend it, fold it to be a little bit thick, like part, then I will use it. When using it, I'll still wash it again and dry them. When next again, I will still use it again.
And as the prices of sanitary pads witness a hike in Nigeria, Geraldine is able to earn a living with her new skills. She now sells handmade pads outside the refugee camp to Nigerian women.
When you cut it, you open it like this. You open it like this. You now place the Macintosh. When you place the Macintosh, you now use the foam lamp and place it on top. I started using this very material, and as you can see, this material, the material can absorb the flow very well. As you can see, this very one here, you understand? I've already used the down layer. This is the upper layer that you carry it and party like this.
The women hold sad stories of the crisis. Stories to see. It's hard to forget. Some saw their husbands and children killed before their eyes. Ever since the crisis broke out in 2016, at least 1 million people have fled their homes. Nigeria alone is harboring thousands of such women and men who are now refugees.
This is what left in my back on that day that I ran. What fed me in the bush when I was flying.
The women are praying for one thing, for peace to return in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon so they could return to their comfort zones and start life afresh.
Very sad indeed. Thanks, Maureen. The women in the littoral region of the country have expressed joy in commemorating the 37th edition of the International Women's Day at the Beseke Grandstand under the theme Equality in Gender for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Stephanie Chin was at the Beseke ceremonial ground where the ceremony was presided at by the littoral regional governor, Samuel Judene Ivahadibua. Chin.
A colorful celebration with a good melody, ushering women representing different domains and activities in the society. Clothed in beautiful outfits, the women march through the grandstand, displaying attractive skills. Some drive trucks, motorbikes, and caterpillars. A display which some say is a reflection of the theme of this year's celebration. Some women showed their skills in mechanics, garbage disposal, environmental care, and entrepreneurship. Speaking with some women at the Beseke Grandstand, they say they are happy celebrating this year because it is extraordinary compared to the last 2 years, disrupted by the COVID-19 virus.
We are so happy. You can see that we marched very well because we were so happy that after the COVID, for 2 years we have not been together like this. And today we are fortunate that we are here, so I am happy.
This one was certainly distinguished from other ones because of the context of COVID-19. You know, last year we have not do the parade, but this year was a special one.
Present was the governor of the littoral region, who used the celebration as an opportunity to talk about the current teacher strike, promising government's intervention.
There is a kind of strike since some days in Cameroon as a whole, and concerning the teachers. And we saw and we heard that at the level of Douala, they pick some teachers and go with them to a police station. So I'm saying that that kind of information is not right. It is also a kind of situation that people want Douala to be in the fire. I'll say that there's no way. Teachers have the problem and the government is doing its best to solve the problem.
A celebration which the women say equality in gender should not just be a slogan, but must be matched with action.
Oh, thanks, Stephanie. That was Stephanie reporting there from the Beseke Grandstand in Douala. Amongst the groups of women who actually turned out for the march past exercise in Yaoundé this day were female experts or agents of the National Security Corps who actually used this opportunity to make sure that they actually consolidate the relationship between the Corps and the population. Hyacinth Chia reports from our Yaoundé Bureau.
Awesome steps by the female personnel of the national security as they partake in the traditional march past of the 37th edition of the International Women's Day here at the 20th May Boulevard. Their instrumental demonstrations remarkable. Similar bold steps by the women of the Ministry of Defense, the Presidential Guards, and many other units. An opportunity to communion with the public on the police population proximity at the service of each and every one. The sharing of a common meal at the Delegation General for National Security, an occasion to reiterate their commitment as models in peace maintenance.
La femme de la Société nationale s'engage plus que par le passé à être un modèle de policier tel que voulu par Monsieur le Directeur Général de la Société nationale.
Their activities highly lauded by the Secretary General on behalf of the Delegation General for National Security, who didn't fail to remind them of the need to feast with moderation.
Le chef de corps vous dit félicitations. Vous avez été dans la responsabilité et dans la dignité. Achevez cette journée dans la dignité en tant que vous. Merci.
Same with the defense ladies who used the Women's Day to sensitize other women on their rights and reminded them of the need to bridge challenges to attain their goals.
We thought something different away from women's the forestry experts of the Central African Forestry Commission and of course the Congo Basin have been meeting or are still in Douala trying to reflect on the common stand as they prepare for the 15th World Forestry Congress and the 17th United Nations Forestry Forum slated for the month of May 2022. Now, the technical working group agreed to put up a common stand ahead of negotiations. Details in the following report. Member countries of the Congo Basin Forest are bracing up for the 15th World Forestry Congress and the 17th United Nations Forestry Forum. They are meeting in Douala to prepare a collective and coordinated stand during negotiations on the sustainable management of the forest and to protect the interest of the sub-region.
And we also need to conserve forests because these forests play a good role for climate change regulation. But now the big challenge is how to consider the conservation and development, how to reconcile conservation and development.
The technical team that will work from the 7th to the 10th of March 2022 unanimously agreed that all the countries of the Congo Basin Forest have similar challenges, reason why they have to put up a common proposal.
The World Forest Congress, which will be held in South Korea, in Seoul, from 2 to 6 May, and also for the 17th United Nations Forest Forum, which will be held in New York from 9 to 13 May. And this is, I can say, this is a good opportunity for us to address this kind of challenges.
Being the second largest natural and dense forest in the world, the Congo Basin Forest is home to the world's most rare animals and plant species. And that report brings us to the end of this news. I've been Kejang Henry Atembe, thanking you graciously for having been part of this news edition. And of course, news will come up at 7:50 with Mr. Gaga.